So registering the domain essentially allows us to enter our website into a global phone book that browsers, when you type in road to code, the browser is going to say like, well, let me go find out where that site is being hosted. I need to go look at the public phone book. And it goes off and grabs the address and it says, I got it. Let me redirect you and send you over to that site. And so to do that, we need to go to a registrar company. So there's a bunch of them. There's GoDaddy, there's Dotster, there's what are the ones? Domain.com. So I've used domain.com, seems to be pretty easy, pretty straightforward. I've never liked to register a domain with GoDaddy and host my website with GoDaddy, because if I decide to go host my website somewhere else, GoDaddy makes it difficult or doesn't make it as easy as like domain.com or Dotster.com to go and change your hosting. They kind of want to keep everything together. That's their business model.
Mhm.
The same thing with Google, the same thing with AWS. I don't like to register the names with those companies because it makes it difficult if you want to go host somewhere else and then you're hosting with one of those website providers. So I like to register the domain with the registrar and then host it with yet another company. And so that way it stays separate and I can go and manipulate whatever I need to. So let's go to domain.com. And let's go figure out which one. I mean, do you want road to code or you want the road to code?
Um, let's see, Road to Code.
Let's try it, see if that's available. So type it in that box.
Oh. Code.
So that one's unavailable, but .NET, you see the road to code.net. Now, the other thing we could do is I think there's other extensions like IT, IO. You can also have those ones. I don't know that they're available through domain. Oh yeah, the road to code IO.
That one's $47.
Yeah, it's just because IO is from some Croatian island. That's their domain extension. So we'd be registering a Croatian name. But we can go with .NET. .NET is a good one, and it's only $12, $12.99. And so they have so let me explain what's going on here. So normally they do 2 years. You can do 1 year. So you can switch it to 1 year. And then they also have privacy and protection. And the reason privacy and protection is there, and it's optional. If you're a company, you can put the company information as part of the domain registration, because when you register the domain, you have to put who is the administrator, who is the the technical contact, who is the host, the hostmaster or the webmaster contact. There's like 4 different contact informations that you need. Now, being a private individual, you don't want that information because they're going to have your street address, they're going to have your phone number, they're going to have your email, and it's basically your personal information is out there because of a domain that you registered. So what happens is that privacy and protection, it's a buffer. You still provide your information, but what gets displayed to the public is domain.com's information. And so domain.com, if somebody needs to get a hold of you for your domain, they'll go through domain.com, and then domain.com would forward the message to you, and then you address it at that point. Versus if you just have your contact information, you don't have to pay the $8.99, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would just leave that out and have your information. whenever somebody says like, whose domain does this belong to? And they see your name, your address and all that. I mean, they can come to your door, knock at your door and say, hey, we want to buy your domain. You're like, what the heck? It's like, how'd you even get my information? Well, it's because you need, when you register your domain, you provide that information. I normally try to keep my information private. So I do purchase the privacy and protection. Are you okay with spending the $21.98 for the year?
Yeah,
All
that
right.
sounds fun.
Let's go ahead and continue. And so yeah, so we won't add any more. We really don't need any other stuff. You can see where domain.com allows you to add a bunch of other stuff to it,
Okay.
but not a big deal. Continue to billing. And you'll probably need to create an account.
Check your email. Now it does.
So you are now the official owner of the roadtocode.net.
Oh yeah.
Now, we need to host this website. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to open up a new tab and we're going to go to Amazon. So you can type in AWS and then press enter.
AWS.
Yeah. So it's called Amazon Web Services.
Hmm.
So yep, click on that. And create an AWS account. Free. All right, go to the console. So now you're gonna log in as a root user. Amazon has a service that is called AWS, and it's called Amazon Web Services. And this service was created internally to build different departments. And so they built all these tools in order to be able to build the departments. And they realize, hey, these tools are built so well, we can actually sell it to the public. Okay. So this same tools are the tools that they use internally in order to be able to build, because one department needed hard drive space and it's like, okay, how much is that going to cost? And so, they came up with this tool to measure the cost. Or another department says we need to host a website and it's like, how much is that going to cost? And they came up with the billing through this software that they created, the AWS console. And it was their way of billing, and they did it so well that they were able to sell it. So each one of these services does something completely different. Okay. So like, we'll just cover a few. You could see where it says Route 53, the very first line, all the way to your, no, don't click on anything.
Yeah.
Just point the very first line on the build a solution to the right. It says register a domain.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's called Route 53. So this is their way of doing what domain.com does. So you can actually do it here as well. Okay. They also have a way of hosting virtual servers or virtual machines. So the second one next to Route 53, you can actually host a machine on the cloud, and you can turn it on and you can, remote into it. Or you can build a web application using Elastic Beanstalk. You can also build another virtual machine using EC2. So there's two ways of building servers or machines. One is a server, one is a virtual machine. And so EC2 is a way to build an actual machine. You can actually also have the IoT, which is called Internet of Things. So you can develop for any type of component you want out there. So say, for example, you want to do an Alexa project, you would go to the IoT. Or if you want to do some kind of smart light bulb, project, you would go to the IoT. But what we're looking for is a way to host a file that people can access through their browser. And to do that, they have this service called S3. And it's 3 S's, Simple Storage Solution, hence the name S3. So if you scroll down, we should be able to see something that says S3 somewhere. There it is. scalable storage on the cloud. Click on that. All right. And so the way this works is based on buckets. And really, what's an HTML file? It's text, right? So the way Simple Storage Solution works is that you create buckets, and those buckets have folders, and those folders contain files. And so you don't have to have folders inside of a bucket, but it's just a way of organizing stuff. So let's create a bucket, and we'll call this bucket the road to code.net, all lowercase. Road is spelled.
Oh, the road to code. Yeah.
Really, this is just the name of the bucket. It's not the actual website itself. You're just creating a bucket called roadtocode.net. Or to make it less ambiguous, let's take out .net. So this is just a bucket called road to code that's going to store our files for the HTML. And so we want to set the region to California. And then let me check mine real quick, how I set it up. Give me 1 second. You see where it says block public access settings for bucket?
Yeah.
So let me see. Block public access setting for bucket. Okay, yeah, this is fine. Go ahead and scroll down a little bit more. We don't need bucket versioning. We don't need to tag it. So we don't need server-side encryption. We can go ahead and say create bucket. So we'll give it a second, it'll create it. And so we want to go ahead and select it. Go ahead and click on the road to code. And let's create a simple file using Visual Studio Code and just call it, call it index.html. And then in the body tag, just put welcome to the road to code under construction.
Just as a new file, right?
Yep.
Oops. New file. Uh-oh. Let me get out of this. How do I do a new one? New window?
You got to open up a blank folder. So go to open folder.
Oh.
And then, yeah, create a new one. You see on the top where it says create new folder. And it's called road to code. Eventually, we'll put this into source control or something. Sandbox is fine for now. All right. So let's go ahead and create a new file. Oh, you can. Oh, you know what? There's a quick way to do it. You see when you hover over road to code?
Oh, right here.
Yeah. And just call it index.html. And then type in HTML and then select HTML5. Yep. And then in the body, just say, welcome to road to code under construction. And then set the title as road to code.
Title. Under construction?
No, road to code.
Oh, road to code.
Is it road to code or the road to code? The road to code. Yeah, you can do actually make it proper with capital letters and spaces. Save it. And then let's go ahead and upload this file.
Add files.
Mm-hmm.
Go to. It's in the sandbox. I have to select the file.
Yep. Exit. And then, so what we want to do is we want to go to action. Oh, maybe property. Go to properties. Permission, sorry, go to permission.
Okay.
And so here we want to edit. And we want to uncheck that. And then, so this would be block public access, block public access. Yep, I think this is good. Go ahead and save changes.
Confirm.
Yep. All right. So all that is off. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Go back into edit and check the first two. And then save those changes.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Go to properties. And then scroll all the way to the bottom. So here we're going to create a static website. So click on edit. Enable. And then this is going to be hosting a static website. And the index document is going to be index.html. And in case,
right?
Yep.
Okay.
And then any error, just redirect back to index.html. In case they try to do anything, then scroll down and go ahead and save changes. So if you scroll back down to the bottom, control click that link.
Forbidden.
What? Attempting to retrieve custom error. Access denied. Okay, let's see. Go back to Amazon S3. Oh, okay. You see where it says bucket and objects are not public? Click on that.
Oh, okay. Public access.
Access. Go ahead and click on the little, oh, yeah, click on that little selector over to the left. You see a little radio button, click on that. And then click on that little gear over on the right. Region. Okay. Region access. Go ahead and continue. Oh, that didn't do nothing. Go to go to the top. Click on edit again. And let me see what mine looks like. Those are the only two. Block public access. Public access is granted. So I have those two as well. Cancel out of here. Scroll down a little bit. Oh, okay. Oh, you went too far. Oh, yeah, right there. Or bucket policy. Click edit.
There we go.
Okay, so I'm going to give you, I'm going to send you something in the chat. Copy and paste everything, and then you're gonna replace www.afreshdeveloper.com with the bucket name itself. No, you're just gonna put the road to code.
Oh,
// and then yeah, that's it. Go ahead and save that.
oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Wait, is that star supposed to be there too?
Yes.
Public.
Nice. Okay, now go to properties and go click on that link again
Where is it at?
down at the bottom.
Welcome to the road to code.
Under construction. All right. So, but look at the URL, right? It still has the AWS, URL, right? We want it to be the roadtocode.net. So we need to go to domain.com. So go back to domain.com.
I have it right here.
Okay, give me a second. Let me get in there. And what we need to change. So over on the left, you see where it says DNS and name servers. And then under DNS record. Perfect. We're going to add, can you scroll down to the bottom? Let's see what's in there. Oh, okay. So we just need to change that CNAME.
Mhm.
So click on the little 3 dots and click edit. And you want to replace that content with the URL for the road to code. So go and grab the URL go to the tab road to code
This one.
and put that there. Yeah, copy that and paste it into there. Update the DNS.
It won't let me. You have to take out the HTTP.
Let me see. Yes, take out the HTTP. And then take out the //
There we go.
All right. So now let's open up a new tab and type in the roadtocode.net.
Ooh, baby. Oh. I spelled it wrong.
You got to put up on the address, the roadtocode.net.
To code.net. Why is it not showing it?
Well, the DNS normally takes about an hour to refresh.
Yeah, but it says it up here too. This site is under development. What we wrote.
Yeah. So right now it's pointing to that old URL that's there. That was there. So normally it takes about an hour before it refreshes. It has to propagate across all the world. The road to code.net. It'll take a little while to propagate. I would say put a reminder for like an hour from now.
Okay.
And you should be able to hit that domain. And I'm going to leave it up to you to build the website. And you just have to upload the file up to the bucket and call it index.html. You can include a bunch of other files in there. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, that'll.
Cool. I have my own website now.
So I'll let you spin that off to a separate little extra for the podcast. And yeah, you got the domain.
Cool.
Whoever thought it was that easy, huh?
Yeah. All it was is just $20 and a couple of buttons.
Exactly. Let's talk about the fix to the website, The Road to Code. So why don't you go ahead and share your screen?
Okay.
And it was such a small detail that I left out. I feel so dumb because this was part of my original reading, and it was such a careful detail that I left out. Yeah, let's go over to S3.
All right.
So the original bucket that we created was The Road to Code.
Yeah.
And all we had in there was the sites under construction inside of an HTML page. There was nothing particularly interesting about that. And the second bucket that I created, again, has nothing particularly interesting. It's the same exact thing, but the fact that I had to name it www.theroadtocode.net was the detail that I left out. So if you go to domain.com, and the settings are the same. The settings are exactly the same as the original. So when you're looking at the video on how to register your domain and create your own website, the steps are identical except for the name of the bucket that needs to have www. The name of your website .com or .net or .whatever. It needs to be there. If you go down to DNS and name servers and you go to DNS record.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, you'll see that the www has the www.theroadtocode.net and then the rest of the site name for the Amazon AWS site. And so if you open up a third tab and just go to theroadtocode.net, it should come up.
There it is. Hey. It's still under construction.
So I think this is going to be a good nesting ground for you to learn React as you wrap up your what do you call it, your bootstrap learning, and you jump into React. This is going to be a good place where, as you're creating your React application, you can deploy it to this website, The Road to Code. And as we start moving forward with C#, we'll start creating some APIs that your React code can then access your C# code through remote calls.
Okay.
So we'll deploy them in a couple of different places, and we'll have a video and we'll show how stuff is being deployed to AWS. And if we get brave enough, we might even do it to Azure, which is a Microsoft hosting cloud service that is equivalent to AWS.
Cool.
So, but yeah, that's the fix. And yeah, hope that helps somebody to register their domain. So, cool. I think we're officially done.
Yeah.